Right, so I have my 10 minutes. And when I read about is the changing phase of work. So start off, you want to do some work and you want to do it better. I have a problem with it, which is I don't really know what work I want to do you? It's like, what work you want to do? They just keep asking you that, and I don't know. So here's my story. I graduated in economics. I had a job offer in L'Oreal marketing. Good money, good company, great girls. So sounds good. Sounds great.
Very Italian.
Got it. Sorry. Yeah. So one day, a couple of years after, I had an offer from an investment bank here in London, and great job, great money, girls, so and so. But I thought, let's go for it. And then it happens for the first time. That happens for the first time that I just realized what I didn't want to do. So you know, like all the interview before that was, what do you want to do? You're in L'Oreal. I want to do marketing because that reason. Or even before that, you want to do economics because of that reason. So my dad was proud of it, or would have the reason for it. But when you have something you don't want to do, that hits you. It's like, oh no, you know what? I don't want to do this. And I didn't want to be an investment banker because I saw the guy get into that work and going out of it 5 years later, and I didn't like that guy. And I thought, I want to be more creative than that. I want to be more lateral thinking than that. So my dad was, I understand that, but what do you want to do? I said, no idea. So went traveling, went South America, 6 months traveling with my girlfriend, who's not my wife. And that time I realized I had a lot of opportunity. I had an architect asking me, after a while, I was helping in a hospital in Peru, and he was said, we need somebody replacing me. And I said, beautiful, I have a little problem, I'm not an architect. So what do we do? He said, I have a good news for you, which is, people don't know. You're not an architect. So as long as you pretend to be one, they will keep working. Fantastic. It's like, okay, let's do it. So I realized the where you want to work matters as much as what you want to do. So I went back and I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I know where I want to do it. I want to be south. I want to be in a place with the sunshine. So I sent a few, I decided 5 countries, 10 creative places I want to be there. And a guy in Madrid, he hired me to be a strategist in Younger Republic Madrid. After that, Younger Republic Madrid, such and such, he became head of strategy, became head of strategy in McInerney afterwards. And I said, it happens again. I just needed, I need to fire people. We lost an account. What do? You have all the people with family, they're less efficient but they have family, or you have people with no families, but they're more efficient. What do? And I realized the problem I was saving myself. I don't want to be the guy saving myself. I decided the problem of the boat is a smaller boat. It's not more people need to leave it. It's about myself as a captain of that boat. It's not, I was there for 2 years. The team was ready for it, needed to leave. Went back home and I spoke with my wife and I said, you know what, I think the right thing is just to go. And she said, if you think it's the right thing, just do it. And she started crying. I was like, oh, very supportive, thank you very much. You know, like, that's just what I needed to. And I started something new. And I was like, okay, what I want to do? I thought I wanted to open a hostel. Then I wanted to open a restaurant. In the meantime, I was a freelance strategist. Being a freelance strategist is like people are, okay, where do you find your job? How much is the money? Why are you doing it? And then I found out, if you tell them, I'm doing a startup in branded content, they say, how cool. They just stop asking you questions and like, oh, that sounds great. So I did it, and I said, I'm opening a startup in branded content, and I did. And by saying it, it happens. And in the meantime, I said, I want to go in co-working. It's more about, you know, sharing the work. And I went to a co-working place, and I found this girl coming to me and saying, it's 300 euros to have that desk. And I was like, really? I was like, oh, but you can have your meeting rooms and stuff, and you can have free coffee. okay, I'm thinking about it. And I just went to my place, and I just started working in a coffee bar near my home. And the coffee man, after 2 weeks, I asked him, do you mind, you have free Wi-Fi, do you mind if I stay here? And he said, you know what, from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. and from 2 a.m. to 7, it's free. And if you are there, it's not empty. So people come more if you are there than if you're not. So just be here, please. I mean, I'll offer you breakfast. So instead of spending 300 euros for a co-working place, I was spending 300 euros for beautiful food. It's just fantastic. And they bought a printer because I needed one. And I could do my meeting with clients in a bar. It was pretty cool. So then my wife came back and said, we were talking about freelancing. She said, do you think it's a little about surfing? And I said, yeah, it is about how you do it, the way you're telling it, and who you're working with. It's very free and stuff. And she said, yeah, but the problem is, you know, being two on the same board, it is a little unstable. So I realized I had a problem about how much. So yes, it was beautiful, people believe in it. I was doing my startup, branded content, winning few clients, but I was not really focusing on how much. So I said, what I do want to do. I said, okay, I know the story already. So let's start. I don't know. Do you know? Do you know what you want to do? I don't. So I start back. Where I have 2 kids, 2 years old, 7 years old. I thought, shit, this is the last chance I can really move. Let's go somewhere else. I start again, find a new place where to go. So I decided to move in London. And I decided I'm a creative lead for Imagination company now here in London since a few months. And what I think is, that is really my understanding, is that I'm really jealous about people who they know what they want to do. I want to be a doctor, and they are a doctor. And they still want to be a doctor. I'm not one of them. I want to be a soccer player. I want to be whatever that. I want to be a priest. And they are priests. You know, my son, he said, I want to be a doctor, and I don't just to remember, just changed idea 3 times. So most of us, we don't know what we want to do. But what we do know is what we don't want to do. And that is not something we decide. It's something that hits you. It's just, you know what? I don't want to do this. And we all are in this situation sometimes. And it's very difficult. We have all a wife crying in that situation. A son or a dad saying, why? Okay, I understand. Why are you going to do that? So in that sense, I think, and then you decide where it matters. You want to work in sunshine? You want to work when it's rain? You want to work in south, north, center of the city, outside, suburbs, in the country? Matters. And how? How will you sell it? What's the name of your job? It does matter if you say you're a freelance strategist, or if you are a startup of branded content. It does matter, because the time you start saying it, it will become true. So people will believe it, no matter what you say. And it will matter the people, so the who, and with a little eye on the how much. Because after a while, it is fun, but if 2 wives are saying, you know, the board is a little shaky on the way, so you better think for the next plan. So going back to the question about, you know, what the changing phase of the work, I don't know what work I want to do. I have no idea. But the thing is, I know what I don't. And starting there, the next phase of the work will be more similar of myself. That will happen to me. And I hope it will happen to you too. So I have 30 seconds left, but I don't know what to do about it. I just finished.